Hello and welcome to the Daily Meal for Monday the 7th of March 2022. Apologies for my voice. I'm feeling a bit sick, but we're going to crack on anyway. So here you go. This is the normal Monday story from the South London Press, londonnewsonline.co.uk. They're 4 takeaways. So it's the 4 takeaways from Millwall's 1-0 win at Reading. Coops leads by example as playoffs look a realistic target. Millwall made it 5 wins in a row for the first time since 12, with a 1-0 victory against Reading at the Majeski Stadium on Saturday afternoon. The Lions moved up to 10th in the championship table, 3 points off the playoffs. Jake Cooper sealed the victory in the 37th minute when he headed home a Jed Wallace corner to send the sold-out away end into raptures. Reading showed some sort of reply in the second half without actually creating a huge amount, and the South London club held on for another valuable 3 points. Here are Kai Bennett's 4 takeaways from the game. Jake Cooper sings former team. The centre-back had a pretty good day at the office, scoring the winning goal and keeping a clean sheet. He took on the captaincy and certainly justified it with his leadership. The former Royals defender scored the winner for the Lions in the first half, a bullet header which was the difference between the two sides. Cooper wasn't just the match winner on Saturday, he made 10 clearances, more than the entire Reading team, who had 8. The 27-year-old had a difficult time against Lucas João, but won 7 aerial duels to João's 2, showing he definitely came on top against the Portuguese striker. Gary Rowett labelled Cooper as invaluable to the Millwall side after a superb showing. Playoffs on. Despite both Gary Rowett and Jay Cooper not getting drawn on the question in post-match interviews, Millwall have a genuine chance of reaching the playoffs after 5 wins in a row. The Lions have flirted before with finishing in the top 6, an 8th place finish 2 seasons ago, finished by an 11th place finish last season. Millwall are 3 points outside the top 6. It makes tomorrow's fixture at Blackburn a tasty encounter, as the South London club are 5 points behind 4th placed Rovers with a game in hand. The Lions are showing all the right ingredients to make the playoffs: consistency, determination, and are willing to work for each other. At the moment they are the outsiders and the underdogs, which tends to suit the Lions down to the ground. One thing Lions defence back to its best. One thing Mill have prided themselves on since Gary Rowett came in has been their excellent defensive record. Bartosz Białkowski was joint top of the number for clean sheets in the championship in his first season at the club. The Lions once again showed a good consistency of keeping shutouts last season, but up until recently had dropped off a bit. Mill have kept 5 clean sheets in their last 8 games, the same number as their past 23 matches before that. They conceded 5 in the other games against Fulham, and 1 against both Derby and Cardiff City. But their resolute, compact and stubborn defence looks to be back. The Royals had plenty of possession on Saturday, but still failed to break down the Lions' back 5, nor did they look like trouble in Białkowski. With Sean Hutchinson out, it was always going to be a test. But Daniel Ballard, who has just returned from knee surgery, stepped seamlessly in to replace the Lions skipper, with Gary describing his return as massive. When Millwall don't look as potent in front of goal, which they didn't against Reading, it's important their defence stays strong to ensure a 1 goal can win a game. Indeed. I've been saying that all along. Mill depleted but determined. The Lions have had an extremely unlucky season on the injury front. With the recent results, anyone looking in from the outside wouldn't guess it. The South London club substitution showed their depleted squad yesterday. Connor Mahoney, who has only featured twice in the last 9 games, coming on to replace Jed Wallace. Ideally, Rowett would be turned into the likes of Oliver Burke, Luke Freeman, Tom Bradshaw and Shea Yojo. All 4 are more than good enough to start as well, but the lack of numbers and squad depth in the Mill camp hasn't hindered their climb up the table. So there you go. There's your 4 takeaways, as ever on a Monday. We're going to move on now to this from news@den.co.uk. Mill's Jake Cooper on captain's armband and making sure Lions repay fans of Blackburn. Jake Cooper has relished wearing the captain's armband this season and said it was always something he aimed for in his career. With club captain Alex Pearce on the bench and club vice captain Sean Hutchinson injured, Cooper led the side and scored the only goal against his former club Reading at the weekend. Cooper insists he doesn't feel any more pressure captaining the team. I think I've got used to it. I've done it a good number of times this season with Hutchie missing games and Pearcey not being involved, Cooper said. It's been good. It's something I've always looked to achieve in my career. Hopefully at some stage I can nail that as part of my role. I've looked to be in more leadership groups with the manager and really have a voice within the dressing room and with the coaching staff. I think it's a natural progression for me to take forward in my career. Millwall travelled to Blackburn for their rearranged game on Tuesday. There were 471 Lions supporters who made the trip to Lancashire for the first game. I think for the fans, definitely there's an extra motivation. We owe the fans a good performance, especially the ones that come up again, Cooper said. That's what we'll be looking to do, putting a performance for them that will have travelled all that way. It will be a tough game, but we're full of confidence and hopefully we can put in another performance. So moving on now to this from South London Press, londonnewsonline.co.uk, and it's Gary Rowett on that Blackburn game. So we should have played the first time. Millwall boss on rescheduled Blackburn match and claims there is no extra motivation. Okay, Millwall manager Gary Rowett reckons there is no extra motivation heading into the rearranged Blackburn Rovers fixture, but added the game should have been on the last time. The Lions game against Rovers was postponed last month due to an unplayable pitch surface. The two clubs face each other on Tuesday night, with Millwall now in striking distance of the playoff places after chaining together 5 straight championship victories. Rowett said, "We've now got to focus on the next game, which is a tough away trip at Blackburn. What we probably shouldn't be doing is, because we should have played the first game. I don't think there's extra motivation for Blackburn. The players will be motivated anyway. The players were motivated to play the game on the day. They will go up there on Tuesday and be motivated to play the game again. I don't think that's ever a massive issue for us. Maybe if you ask the players, they will have a little bit extra motivation, but I don't think you think like that. We've just got to go there prepare for Blackburn, who are a very good side. They've come out in defeat against Fulham team today. They'll be desperate to get back to some good form and keep them in the mix at home. We know we will have to perform really, really well to get a result. And what kind of result will we get? What will it be? I don't know. So here is another story from Gary Rowett from londonnewsonline.co.uk. Is this a make or break run of games coming up? Millwall boss Rowett has his say. Well, yeah, because we now play Blackburn, who are like 4th or so, Middlesbrough 6th, then Huddersfield, who are 2nd. We're playing some of the better teams in the league because it's March now. Most of the, I think 75% of the games have been played. The teams at the top are the teams at the top, the creme de la creme. They're rising to the top. Are we the creme de la creme, or are we UHT? So what's happening here? Gary Rowett has downplayed the significance of Millwall's next round of fixtures as they come up against 4 of their playoff rivals in the next 5 fixtures. The Lions start off that sequence at 4th place Blackburn Rovers tomorrow night before hosting Middlesbrough in a final top 6 berth on Saturday. They follow that up with a den date against Huddersfield Town, a midweek den date, which is always nice, bit tasty under the floodlights there, who occupy 2nd spot but have played more matches than all of the clubs in the Championship promotion picture. Luton then follow an away match at Stoke at the start of April. That's after the international break, so you probably wouldn't have that in the same run of games, but hey ho. I don't think it really matters who we're playing at what time, said Rowett. If you look at this season, then probably our most disappointing performance was against Peterborough. Some of our better performances this season have come against the top sides, so therefore I don't really think who we play matters so much. That's not me being dismissive in any way, shape or form, because they are all good talented teams and doing very well. But the question for us is, right, can we get results? Can we get through this international break and come out on the other side of it in a reasonable position? if we can, then fantastic, and we can start having a different conversation with 5 or 6 games left of the season to go. It generally has just been, let's see where we can get to at Blackburn. I've not even thought about the next period of games. Of course, when you look on paper from the outside, then it looks as if this is an important period with teams above us, but we've got to turn up every game and do everything we can to try and win the games. It's as simple as that. At the moment, training and preparation is literally turn up, do a light session, try not to get them injured, give them as much information without taking away the energy, and let's roll on to the next game. So there you go. Yeah, it's not important now. Is he downplaying that because he's pessimistic about our chances there? He doesn't want to big it up because what can be gained from bigging it up? You big it up and it falls apart, and then you look like a wally. If you don't big it up and you do well, you look like a fucking genius. So he's making the right move there by downplaying it. So moving on to going away from all of that and looking to the future, not that far in the future, just next season, July, August. Season tickets are on sale now. Yeah, next season season tickets are on sale. All prices frozen. So Millwall Football Club is delighted to confirm that the 22-23 season tickets are now on sale, and they've got this dopey thing here. I don't know whose idea this was. Southern Resident, just so they could have the words "The Den" in blue, and then they've got a picture of the River Thames, like it's I don't know. It's branding, isn't it? It's branding, marketing. I suppose it's to it doesn't really do anything for me. I don't know about you, but that's what they got to do these days. Stuff like that. Maybe it's a note with some people. I don't know. With prices frozen from the 21-22 campaign, the season ticket represents the best value for money deal on watching the lines in the new season, indeed. So there you go, super saver prices now. So obviously it's $23 games. So if you take the price divided by 23, you get your price per game, right? And then you figure out how many games you might miss in a season, and even if you don't go to every game, if you still miss about 4 or 5 or 6, I don't know what it is, depends what it's got so many different prices now. It might just be worth it just buying a season ticket just because if you do go to a lot of games and you pay game by game by game, you're going to be paying through the nose. Now obviously maybe you're not in a position to lay out 450 quid straight off the bat, although we'll get into the later situations. You can see here, if you buy early before Friday the 20th of May, so you got what's that, like a couple of months to gather up most of that money, sort yourselves out, because after that, until the end of June, if I'm just going to look at the top left one, yeah, as a reference point. So it goes from 450 to 495. It jumps up 45 quid. So that's a big jump there. So if you can, I would suggest getting on it on the Super Saver, and you've got until the 20th of May. So that is a couple of months away to try and gather that money up to save yourself even more money later on by buying it later in the day, and even more if you wait until the 1st of July. If we look at the top left one again, Kitchener Rapper, that goes to 560. So compare that to the Super Saver, that's £110 extra. So I mean, if you are buying a season ticket and you're not buying it on Super Saver, you probably want your head examined. I mean, pay an extra 110 quid in the Kitchener Rapper just because you buy it in May compared to July. I mean, night and day, innit? So benefits. There's the benefits there. There's so many benefits. I'm not going to read them out, but there you go. And here they've got finance, V12 finance, whoever the fuck they are. I don't know who they are. It says retail finance, so I assume it's like when you buy something from Argos or something like that, and then they let you pay it out over a number of months. So I assume it's like that. So even if you can't scrap together the money before May, you might be able to get on the finance. And if you are trying to get an age-related discount, you need to concern yourself with your age on the 29th of July. So what are the age restrictions? So 18 to 21. So if you're 22 on the 29th of July, but you're 21 on the 28th of July, nah, you're gonna have to buy a full adult ticket. So, and that goes for all under 18s, under 16s, under 12s, under 6s, whatever. So if you're 7 from the 29th of July, what is it? There. That's when they calculate the day. So you might buy your season ticket on. You might buy your season ticket in May to get a super saver. But if on the 29th of July, so when you buy it in May, you might be eligible to get the 18 to 21. But if by the time 29th of July, you're not going to be eligible to that anymore, you're going to have to go for the next one up. You can't buy that one, if you understand. Then they give the thing about the family stand. You can't go in there without a kid. That's just fucking weird, let's be honest. And if you've already got a season ticket this season and you want to sit in the same seat, you've got until the 6th of June to secure your seat. So when is that? Sorry about all the scrolling. So that's halfway through the saver price, not the super saver, the saver price, to secure your same seat from this season, if that's something you want to do. So there you go. There's all the information there. Go and check it out yourself if you're interested in that. Now JB said it was going to be a big season for a big summer season signing. We've got a lot of improvements that need to be made in the squad, but if you wait until those signings get made, and you're going to be paying like 150 quid extra on your season ticket. So do you take the gamble and just buy a ticket now, hoping that they deliver on the promises? But here's the thing: if you do buy a ticket early, get a super saver, they got the money in the bank, then they can be assured to go out and spend the money on the players. So it's catch-22, isn't it? What come first, the chicken or the egg? What come first, the season ticket money or the signings? Well, if you want a better team and you want signings in the summer, buy your season tickets, and it's more likely going to be happening, isn't it? So we're going to move on now. So it's Monday, and Millwall Football Club have taken up the mantle of doing the Loanwatch, and who's then binned it off. And here we go. So this is from millfc.co.uk. Wright produces man of the match performance for Cray, and there he is. Joe Wright's positive start to loan life at Cray Wanderers continued on Saturday afternoon as the goalkeeper was named man of the match following a 1-1 home draw with Chess Hunt. The loanee picked up the trophy for a string of saves as a goal from Cheshunt's Rowan Libbard cancelled out Anthony Cook's first half penalty kick for the hosts. Arthur Penny played 90 minutes as Welling United picked up a 2-2 draw at Billericay Town. Junior Tenzia, Isaac Loffey and Alex Mitchell missed Dartford, Sutton United and Leyton Orient matches through injury, whilst Dan Moss was an unused sub as the O's drew 2-2 with Stevenage in East London. And here are the upcoming matches for this week and this weekend. There's a big match there for Sutton United. I don't think Tanto will be fit for that, but how exciting is that for Sutton United? Do you remember when we played Wigan Athletic in the league trophy? Was it all windscreens league trophy then? In the final at Wembley, and they're playing them in the semi-final. So that's a big game for Sutton United there. Not a cup game as well for Junior Tenzi, but he does have. I don't think he'll be involved in that. He's got a serious injury. So much so that after loaning Junior Tenzia in to replace one of their players who was injured, Junior Tenzia got injured, and then they had to loan in another player to replace him, a geezer from Leyton Orient. So I don't think Junior Tenzia is going to be playing for Dartford anytime soon. But there you go. There's your Loanwatch from Millwall. Nice. So moving ahead to the matter at hand, the big game tomorrow. Here you go. If you didn't get the 20 quid ticket and a free coach travel, you can watch it on iFollow. The club made sure that it was available on iFollow, and you can buy your pass here, 10 quid, and that's what I'll be doing. But if you have already shelled out your hard-earned cash for the Skysports entertainment system, I've got good news for you as well. The game will be on the Skysports red button, so you can have a bit of that if you want. Yeah, there you go. So you've got plenty of options now. Now, here's the thing. Of course, this game was supposed to be played a couple of weeks ago, and it got called off lastminute.com. So I already did a preview, and I'm going to play a bit of that now. Here of tomorrow's game. Now, as some of you may know, there is a massive storm coming through. It's coming through. Some train services
listen to me
were
talking
completely cancelled, suspended, majorly disrupted. Some sporting fixtures, including football games on Friday night, were postponed. Now the storm is set to be gone by the time Saturday afternoon we play Blackburn Rovers, but the fallout from the storm may still be continuing. There may be problems on the motorways, there may be problems on the railways, so be aware. Check it out. Don't do a bit of preparation, because yeah, things might be a bit fucked up. So if you are heading up there, or you plan to, just bear that in mind. So let's go into it. So Blackburn Rovers were one of the founding teams of the Football League back in the 1880s, and because of that, we came to the show late. We were a Southern League team. We joined that first, and then when the Football League was getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and became the VHS to the Southern League's Betamax, we decided to, as with a load of other Southern League clubs, to come into the Football League in 1920. So, because of that, Blackburn Rovers, which Blackburn Rovers were and are probably a big club. Now, you wouldn't think that if you were born in the modern era, but they were. And I think what did for them was Jimmy Hill getting rid of the maximum wage, which was the situation back in the day where there were wage limits on how much a footballer could earn. And when football became more and more popular and they were making more and more money, Jimmy Hill, on behalf of the PFA and professional footballers up and down the country, decided to challenge that in court. and they won and they got rid of it. And then we see the explosion into what we see today in the Premier League, which some think is a bit obscene, but if the clubs as a whole are making so much money, then they're passing that on to their employees, who are the ones generating that through exciting and decent football play. So it is what it is. But you can see here, so when must have had a bad go of it before the war, because they were in Division 2, and that's when we first met them up at Ewood Park. I don't know if it was Ewood Park then. In 1939, we lost 3-1. Didn't play them again until 1966, and I imagine by then the effects of the maximum wage were taking effect, and all they couldn't have compete with other places in the country, like the Manchester teams, the Liverpool teams, the Southern teams as well, so the London teams. And you can see here they have a lot of spells in Division 2, and even in Division 3 we played them in 1979. So we haven't played them that many times because they were such a big club and we weren't that big of a club. They then had a little revival in the 90s. The first geezer, basically one of the first in the modern era, in the Premier League era, to come in and buy the league. I think it's Jack Walker. He took over the club, got them up into the Premier League, and bought Alan Shearer, and they won the league. I think taking over from Man United for a couple of seasons, which was a funny old time. But you can see we haven't played them that many times. From the last game was in 2020 December, and we lost 2-1. And you'll notice here there is a massive sea of red. We have one up there. We won in that FA Cup game. I think it was Danny Shitu goal, Thunderbolt from about the halfway line. That was 1-0. That was in 2013. That was the last time we won up there. We did drew 0-0 in 2018, but there is a massive amount of red, which is defeats on our trips to Blackburn Rovers. So if you are one of the Millwall fans who've been to one of these wins, you are in a rare club. Only 5 wins in the history of Blackburn Rovers versus Millwall. Only 5 wins out of whatever looks like 22 or so fixtures. Not even that many draws, only 3 draws. So 5 wins, 3 draws, and a hell of a lot of defeats. Not by much, to be honest with you, not by much. The worst was a 4-0 back in 1969. So we don't lose by much, but we do lose a lot up there. So let's get into
so we are gonna
more recent form.
We might come back to it later, because obviously that was the historical record, which I didn't want to repeat because it is what it is. It hasn't changed. But what has changed is, of course, since then both teams have played other games. So we're going to get into the form now. So this here is the last 6 visits by Millwall to Blackburn Rovers, and it's 4 wins for Blackburn, 1 draw, and 1 win for Millwall. That was in the FA Cup. I think it was Danny Shitu goal, wasn't it? Cracking in off the crossbar. But you can see only 4 goals up there in 6 games. We do not score a lot at Blackburn Rovers recently. 10 yellow cards as well, so it's a 2 for Blackburn. So it seems to be a bit slanted there. Match facts: Blackburn have seen under 2.5 goals in 7 of their last 8 matches against Millwall in all competitions. Blackburn are undefeated in 11 of their last 12 matches against Millwall in all competitions. And here's the table as it stands. Blackburn are 4th, Millwall are 10th. We have a game in hand on them. yeah, there you go. Same old story, of course. They've scored more goals than us, but our defences are pretty similar. They've only won 2 more games than us. Of course, they do have a game in hand. We have a game in hand, so if we win that, we're only 1 win behind them, so pretty similar. Not that far behind. Now that's the table as it stands. Well, what about the form table? Well, hey ho, look at that. That's food for your mind there, isn't it? They've only scored 1 goal in their last 6 games. They've conceded 6 goals in their last 6 games. They are bottom, well, not bottom. Is that bottom? How many teams in the bloody league again? Forgot. There's 24 teams in the league, so they are near the bottom of the form table. We are. So they're one above the bottom of the form table. We are 1 below the top. We have won 5, lost 1 of our last 6 games, and that loss was 6 games ago. We're on a 5-game winning run. Ka-ching! Bing, bing, bing! And there you go. We've scored 8 goals in 6 games. Fantastic stuff. We got our mojo back, and his name's Jed Wallace. And let's enjoy it while we can. So let's scroll down here and see. So let's first look at, obviously, Millwall. We know. So failed to score at Blackburn and Fulham. The games we lost. We scored 2 at Bristol City, but we lost that one 3-2. The 2 games we kept clean sheets in, we won them. We won 1-0 against Coventry, we won 1-0 against Reading. But that doesn't look too bad there, actually. Last 6 away games, even though our away record is pretty fucking abysmal, our last 6 away games, won 3, lost 3. That's fucking pretty good, isn't it? But here's the thing, what's missing from that picture? A draw? A draw. Now I'm pretty sure Blackburn would love a draw at the moment with their dire form. I think they'll pretty much love to take a draw against us. And you can see they did that against Huddersfield. They sneaked out a 1-0 victory against Middlesbrough. They sneaked out a 1-0 victory against QPR. Teams who are also at the top of the table there. The 2 teams at the bottom, they smashed, kind of. They smashed Birmingham 4-0. They smashed Barnsley 2-1. But they did lose at home to Nottingham Forest 2-0. And they had a player sent off. So here's the thing. In their last 6 home games, just home games, they've only lost once. So what's going on with their form? Have they played a lot of away games recently? They must have done, because their home form is pretty bloody stellar. Don't know what's going on there. So yeah, some funny business going on there with their form there. In terms, when you look at this, their last 6 home games, they won 4, drawn 1, and lost 1. So let's have a look at that. Let's have a look. Here we go. Here we go. So they've got the same home form as us, which means it's pretty fucking good, because our home form is fantastic. So that's got a bit of a worrying spin on it. So let's have a look at the away form. The Millwall. Ooh, there you go. Their away form is dog shit. They haven't won away in 6 games. We've won 3 and lost 3 in our last 6 away games. They haven't scored in their last 6 away games. Holy shit, that's fucking terrible. But we're not playing them at home. We're playing them away. So we're looking at this. Now, what do you see there? 2 teams that are identical. What happens when 2 teams are identical? Look at this. Look at this. Same goal difference. They've scored 1 more. Their home record is pretty bloody good. Pretty bloody good. And our away record is pretty bloody good. Look, they're 8th in the form table for home teams. We're 8th in the form table for away teams. So that suggests to me that this game is going to be a DRAW draw. Here's the strengths and weaknesses and the styles. Pause it and have a read if you want. I'm not going to read all that out. Too many words. So yeah, let's move on to the prediction now. There's the teams and whatever. There's a massive injury list. Maybe our pitch isn't to blame for the injuries, because a lot of teams do have a lot of injuries at the moment. Yeah, so let's have a look at the prediction. Blackburn conceded twice during the first half against league leaders Fulham on Saturday afternoon, as they were beaten 2-0 on their travels. Defeats by Bournemouth and QPR mean that the hosts remain in 4th place, but Tony Mowbray's side are now just one of their last 7 league outings. Jake Cooper scored a set-piece winner for the 2nd time running on Saturday when he came back to haunt former club Reading in a 1-0 away victory. Gary Rowett's men are now just 3 points adrift in the playoff race after winning 5 league games on the bounce, and they predict Blackburn 0, Millwall 1. And that would be good. That would be good. And was Bennett due a goal? He didn't play that well against Reading, but that's how he plays. He plays one dodgy game, then he'll turn up in the next game, play a blinder, and score the winning goal. That might be his goal there. I don't know. We're going to jump back now to this because I couldn't find a new prediction, so I'm going to have to scroll through all of this previous video to see. Here we go. Here we go. So I'm going to play this.
What's he predicted for us? So let's
David Brown's prediction, if it still stands.
And see what
he doesn't seem to have made
says.
An updated one, so here you go. Let's have a look.
Blackburn versus Millwall, Saturday 3 p.m. 4 games without a win now for Blackburn, and 4 games without a goal as well. A bit of perspective is needed because they are still in a fantastic position, but it does not take too long in this league for a dip to become a slump to become a slide. Millwall have had a great week, 2 good wins, as in firing back up the table.
Obviously, none of this matters
within
anymore,
glancing distance of the playoffs.
We've moved on.
You never know where a few wins on the bounce can take you in the championship. But I think what they will draw here. Pratt predicts Blackburn 1, Millwall 1.
Okay, so there you go.
So they're going with the draw,
and we're gonna
probably because they think
shut that boring fucker up. And here you go. So I would love to win. We know Tony Mowbray's he's an old sea dog. He's been in this game a long time. He knows what he's doing. It wouldn't surprise me if he was the mastermind behind the old let's get the match postponed because there's a bit of snow on the pitch and all that fucking bollocks. Because they are in the fucking shit. They got massive injuries. Their star strikers are out injured. One of the top scorers in the league after Mitrovic from Fulham. So as you can see, they drew 0-0 against Huddersfield. They scrambled 1-0 victories against QPR and Middlesbrough. And we haven't drawn in a while, and I would imagine I can see this being a 0-0. Sad to say. Now I feel like a right cunt, to be honest with you, because I keep predicting defeats and draws and whatever, and everyone around me, they're all fucking hyped up. They want playoffs. They're 6 in a row, 5 in a row, 6 in a row, 7 in a row. Oh, go and beat Middlesbrough, beat Huddersfield. But like I said, I'm just a bit. I don't know if I'm being a realist or just a fucking depressing div, but I think it's going to be a 0-0 draw. I think we got too many injuries and too many games coming thick and fast, and in that situation, a 0-0 against them would actually be probably a decent result, to be honest with you. Especially with, as you've seen, our historical record, our injuries at the moment. The game's coming thick and fast. The players are getting tired. They're just coming back from injury. They're not match fit. They're obviously going to get tired a lot more. We don't have any options off the bench, or if we do, Gary Rowett's not really doesn't want to play them because he doesn't trust them. He gives Zach Lovelace like 1 minute on the pitch, and sometimes you just got to throw caution to the wind. A fit player, a fit youngster is probably sometimes better than a tired old head. You just got to have faith in them. That's what coaching is. You got to tell them what to do, coach them up, drill it into them, and then just let their young physicality take over and do the rest. But you should coach them up before the game. And Tyrese Briscoe as well. He knows what he's doing. He's not a wallflower. He gets stuck in. He can handle himself out there. If you need to, play them for 10 minutes, 20 minutes. Don't just give them a minute here and a minute there. If you need to. If the players who start the match are tired, and they obviously are, then have some faith in the youngsters and put them on. But yeah, in that case, I think it's gonna be a 0-0. Yeah, that's what I think. I think 0-0. I want to leave it there. Thank you for watching, and don't forget, you can watch tomorrow's game on Skysports Red Button or on iFollow. And thank you for watching this video, and goodbye.